Sammy, are you hosting?
No,
Sammy.
you're hosting.
You're making me host?
Yeah, you're hosting.
Wow.
What's up, everybody? This is the Swolecast, week 13. Are we week 13 yet, or are we week 12?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Week 13.
Week 13. And I'm your host, Soccer Dave. No, as you guys know, Soccer Dave is gone. We flipped a coin before the show, and I got hosting duties. So it is what it is, but we got Sammy Reid back on, which I think is a good thing for everybody. I think it's a good thing for the listeners. I think it's good for actual hashtag NFL content. So I'm excited about that. Sammy, it's been a while. How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. I feel it's awfully suspicious that the Titans are on a bye. David Kitchen is nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
It's awfully suspicious.
if he was here, though, he would find a way to tout Josh Reynolds and make it still feel like it's part of his personal brand.
And then
He
Josh
he
Reynolds
actually
would catch a
he actually
touchdown.
would have opened the show with Adrian Peterson visiting with the Seahawks today.
That is brutal news.
Do I need
for
to
everyone.
do I need to scratch Josh Reynolds off my tout list right now?
I
might
mean, you
have to.
can.
Kitchen mushed him on Thanksgiving, though. He was like, "Oh no, you can't play Reynolds, min-price Reynolds, can't play him. First drive touchdown.
Never in doubt.
I missed the Adrian Peterson news, and that's glorious.
It just happened. But yeah,
I mean,
it's,
Alex Collins has to be beside himself. Like he's not doing any riverboat dancing right now.
What's the difference between 28-year-old Alex Collins and 36-year-old Adrian Peterson? I see no real difference.
Some hair.
The best is, like, you just imagine Pete Carroll flipping through his playbook. He's like, yeah, we're really thin at running back. I could, maybe throw the ball more to DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Gerald Everett. Or what if we signed Adrian Peterson? And then
he's just looking at his Power O sheet and like, dude, if we had AP for this play, all systems go.
Would have been good to go. That game was miserable. The Seahawks last game, watching that was absolutely miserable. But we're a forward-thinking show, right? We're going to forget about last week. We're going to look ahead at this week 13 slate. So, hey, let's go to Pete for the Overzet overview.
Yeah, as usual, lots of injury situations to monitor here. It's a bummer that we don't get Taysom Hill on the main slate. He's playing Thursday. I'm only seeing two games that I think are going to end up being really popular for kind of stacks. This Chargers Bengals game. I've already seen the normies on Twitter projecting a shootout here. So that's your chalk game right there. And then Tampa Bay is going to be very popular. That game has a total over 50. Otherwise, not a ton of super exciting games. I think if we squint, this Raiders Washington game looks pretty interesting to me, but I think you're going to see
my eyesight is too good for that.
Yeah.
Even when I squint.
I mean, it has a 49 over under, and I think after everyone just watched Washington look pretty decent on primetime, that they're going to be willing to click the button there.
Yeah, and we got the primetime mispricing of Antonio Gibson too. The pricing where they release it before the primetime game where a player goes off. So we got Gibson at 5,700. McKissick's not practicing.
All I know is I've been getting texts from Davis Mattek since Sunday night about Foster Moreau.
Well, and that's the other reason, because it's the
Foster week. It's lit.
The default bring back in that game. I mean, he's going to be what, 80% owned?
I mean,
Good
he
Lord.
will. All the bros who just enter their cash game lineup in the Thunderdome are playing Foster Moreau. It's just going to be another very easy week for Mike Leone to win $40,000 again. He's just like, well, all right, I'm just not going to play Foster Moreau, and now
Leone just puts in Logan Thomas, big 60K again.
James O'Shaughnessy, dude. O'Shaughnessy is just Dan Arnold, but he's 2,600, and it's just the basically like Blender will do one of his awful tweets of like, who is actually the best leverage play, and James O'Shaughnessy will not win the poll, but he is the best leverage play.
That's T-Rex, right?
Doing my touts already. This is so brutal.
No, T-Rex was Dawson Knox.
No,
Wait,
no,
it was
it wasn't.
O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, it was.
No,
Oh, no. It
no,
was the
it was a
Boston
Bill-
College guy from Miami, right?
Tyler Croft.
No, I'm pretty sure it's O'Shaughnessy.
No,
I
it's
have the
definitely not.
clip in my Google Drive folder. I will
Let's
look it up.
get it. Let's get it. We need a little ghost of Evan Silva back.
Producer. we do.
Um,
I'm pretty sure it's Croft though.
So this Foster Moreau thing is interesting because remember what week was it where he should have been chalk, but the news broke way too late for him to be?
Yeah, only some of us knew to play 100% of him that week. Not he was only like 6% on. Some of us knew. Some of us binked with it.
Okay, so we had 6%. That was week 7. Week 6 or 6% Foster Moreau. What's the early ownership look on him this week, Davis?
I'm gonna guess that he is projected at like 25% right now, which is 50% too low. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough Foster Moreau talk to last the show, I think. So I think we do QBs. Yeah, let's do QBs. Sammy, start us out with the QB position.
Well, opens up the QB slate. Okay, tournaments, buddy. We're going to Kyler. I'm playing a lot of Kyler. Like, people will not play Kyler Murray. He's been dust for like 3 or 4 weeks. His stacking partner, who's pretty dusty, but he's back. And on DraftKings, I mean, Nuke is like 66 or 6,200, something crazy like this. That's the stack. Like I think,
and he's like a dog to be. He's like a dog to be like to lead the team in targets.
Yeah, is he still playing a de facto tight end position?
He has a nose for the zone. That's the important thing. But
it is true.
Yeah, really, I think you can stack Kyler a number of different ways, and I just like going back to him in a spot where he's gonna just be significantly underowned. I love guys coming off of injury, and when they dust out in like the third quarter and go back to the bench in the blue tent, I just say it's variance, bro. It's just.
Are you running a Bears bring back with Kyler?
Yeah, I mean Darnell Mooney is like just goading every game. Why not?
He's basically, yeah.
I like how Sammy just fast forwarded to the portion of QBs when Kitchen says, and any other QBs we haven't named yet. That's where Sammy went right there with Kyler.
the first QB he mentions. You could have saved that one.
Well, I mean, so the other thing is this: you guys were talking about Pete. You were talking about stacks that you like, and there's not very many. One that I actually really like is Rams Jacksonville. So this game actually projects to be the best paced game. And I think the Rams are, over the last 8 weeks, like the second or third highest pass concentration in situation neutral. And so I think it's money. And now they have multiple receivers who are pretty cheap in OBJ and Van Jefferson, who you can stack Stafford with and bring it back with O'Shaughnessy. Or if you're Davis, Laviska Shenault, or Pete, you guys can stack.
No, Laviska's definitely way more Davis's brand than mine.
Okay,
go ahead.
Oh, interesting, Peter.
Just passing it off.
No, there was a point this offseason where Davis and Crane shamed me for having not drafted enough Laviska, and then I had to ramp it up. So tough scene.
Yeah, well, anytime you can get 0.8, average depth of target, you just got to go for it. So good job, Visca. But yeah, Ram stack, bring it back with O'Shaughnessy. I think Stafford is really a smash. Obviously, probably go cheaper in cash, but
I think people are playing Brady in cash.
Man.
Yeah, Brady or Lamar, right?
No
I mean,
no Lamar.
the Lamar is like that game is terrible. It's got a low total. It's got one of the lowest. It's just going to be one of the lower pace games. But Brady is my highest projected quarterback by like a full point. They have that not matchup against Atlanta. You have like when you put Gronk back in the lineup for the Buccaneers, they all get better. Brady doubles with CP or Russell Gage as the bring back are looking fairly chalky. I think probably the interesting angles are, do people go back to Hurts? He is our highest optimal probability quarterback. Do people go back to Hurts after him playing so bad? Or if Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard both don't play, are people comfortable playing Boston Scott and Jalen Hurts together? Or do they just play a bunch of Boston Scott, which, I don't know. Boston Scott way better than Miles Sanders. And then Herbert, obvious stack with Keenan, and apparently the obvious bring back with Dominator T. Higgins. Apparently that's just who T. Higgins is now.
Look, that's the thing. If you want to play Herbert, you just never stack him with Keenan. That's the trick, because Keenan never scores a touchdown. He never gets the bonus.
I need a clip montage from the Gilcast 2 weeks ago where Davis says, I will never in my goddamn life play T. Higgins again. And then smash cut to last week where he's like, why didn't we just play T. Higgins?
Well, you also,
well, I know why we didn't.
Hey, so here's the thing on Brady. So obvious, like, great smash play. Is his ownership going to get to the point where it scares you a little bit in tournaments, Davis? Like, I'm looking at this right now.
I won't play him in tournaments at all, because not only will Brady get to 10, 11, 12%, but again, we've talked about this on the show a ton. It just is not, the people don't have lizard brains anymore. They're going right back to Godwin. They're going a little bit less Evans, because Evans target share, even with Antonio Brown out, is like 17%, but people are going back to Godwin. People are going back to Gronk. People are going back to Fournette. So I feel like those are all, as Peter would say, good plays in a vacuum, but it feels very suboptimal to be playing like 22% owned Chris Godwin and 18% owned Gronk with Brady.
And I could definitely see, with, like you said, people aren't going to like the matchup with Lamar and just that game environment. And people have been rugged so many times on Hurts that I think even the projection bros are not going to feel good about clicking Hurts, to where Brady could be like 25% in small field stuff.
And especially with Devonta and Goddard, Hurts will have higher ownership than those two guys. Like, his stacks are always low owned.
How much Goddard is Nate Nolan going to play in GPP this week? Is it 100 or merely 98%?
How much chip do we have for Dallas Goddard? 4,500. Yeah, he's a jam. Yeah, he is.
Not gonna lie, I kind of wanted Minshew stacks. Like, I kind of wanted to play a receiver.
Is he 4,500?
He's 4K, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 4K. And then there is like Quez Watkins is still like 36. Rager's like 32. You could have done some pretty fun things there, I think.
What about the two guys facing the bottom defenses, Kirk and Wentz? Wentz has kind of been balling a little bit.
Yeah.
Tuttle,
I won't do it, but
Tuttle, you could always go to Mike Glennon, baby. He's out there.
I can't do it.
He's out there in force. Stick your neck out a little bit. Take some Glennon.
Do you guys remember what happened the last Colts-Houston game?
Was it a shootout?
It was like they gave Taylor maybe like 5 carries in the first half, if that.
Oh, I do remember that.
I mean, but they do this every other game. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But somehow,
and then he had like an 80-yard run or something, and then ended up getting there. But yeah,
he ended up smashing, of course, on what looks like 15 touches now.
Played him in cash that week.
Yeah, I guess because everybody did, because it was like a sharp thing to do, and he's gonna be so high on this week. But I was surprised because I'm like, well, if they didn't give the ball to Taylor, Pittman must have smashed that week, and no.
I think they had like multiple touchdowns from their dusty tight ends in that game, if I remember correctly.
Well, it's also the T.Y. Hilton Houston thing.
Oh,
right?
that's right. God. Yep. Oh,
people love T.Y. Hilton against the Texans.
Yeah. But JT is going to be mega owned with the Foster Moreau salary. Like, we finally have a really good punt play that everyone's going to give up to him.
So my argument against JT getting out of control in terms of running back ownership, it's the same thing from that first slate when McCaffrey got back, there are like 10 nut running back plays. So we have James Conner at 5,900, Jamal Williams at 5,400, Eli Mitchell at 6,000, Darrell Henderson at 6,100, Gibson at 5,700. Madison will cull a little bit of ownership. Gaskin will get a little bit. Like there are probably like 10 really good running back plays this week. So I don't think we'll see like 35% on Taylor, even with the insane projection.
The only thing though that might still keep that in check is the top end of wide receiver isn't as good as it has been, because we don't have the Hill and the Diggs and all those guys. So it's like people will want to get up to Kupp. I guess people are probably going to mostly decide, do I want Jonathan Taylor or do I want Kupp in my lineup? And they're going to,
and they will choose Jonathan
and
Taylor.
They will choose Jonathan Taylor.
The box score bros ain't liking Cooper Kupp right now. And you can just stack him with Matthew Stafford and print money. I'm telling you.
People vastly underestimate the box score bros. It's something I've realized a lot with doing ownership projections. Like the box score bros, when they latch onto somebody, they're going to pump that ownership up. So I do think Taylor's going to be high owned. But I guess we're still technically on quarterback. Is there anybody else anybody wants to mention?
David Carr.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mentioned that game.
Derek Carr.
Didn't seem like any.
Yeah, the not good looking one.
I guess the issue with Derek Carr is that Renfro Moreau double stack is just going to be so popular and so easy to make.
You have to play Deshaun Jackson.
Is that a problem?
What was his snaps like last week? I didn't check.
He got up there. He got up to 49%. I think not only are they sick of Zay Jones, but they're super sick of Bryan Edwards too. So I think there's room for him to get up, assuming his body doesn't break, to like a 65% snap share or something.
Yeah, the problem with playing Djax is I think it's like 3 times a season he's running with the ball toward a touchdown and does something stupid where he could have just ran in the end zone.
Well, he already did it once.
Right. So he has 2 more to go. And that could be this week. It could be really, really, really tilting if we go there.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the thing I'm having trouble with is like, and this is always true for me every time Dak and Mahomes aren't on a slate, is like, so we have Hurts. Hurts will always be the guy that the leverage scores want. And then you have Brady, who's the top projected option. But it's not like I'm like running to slam in Justin Herbert, running to slam in Joe Burrow, running to slam in Staff. Like I don't feel I don't feel a ton of conviction. Like I feel like Herbert probably is the guy, but I don't have like a ton of conviction in that.
I mean,
Matthew Stafford.
Burrow's probably an incredible tournament play, right? Like we didn't even discuss him here. The box score bros all over Joe Mixon after that big game. You can go back to Chase at probably, and this game looks really good. I mean, why aren't we talking more about Burrow now that I think about it?
Because Joe Mixon just had like 97 touches. That's why.
And what's the talk around Chargers defense too, right? You could just run on them.
Run funnel. That's
man.
That's
remember
why the Bengals are actually a good
DFS?
play.
Yeah.
Dude, remember the charts? There used to be little charts people would post on Twitter for the run
charts.
funnels and the pass funnels.
Yeah, they got shamed out of that. But the Bengals, the Bengals are top 6. They're 6th over the last 8 weeks. Graham Barfield posted this in pass heavy game script.
All right, I'm just saying my GPP bro senses are tingling here on the Burrow doubles.
Love it. Burrow to Chase.
Yeah, always Chase.
And bring it back with who?
I mean, if no one's gonna play Higgins again, sure, why not? Embrace it, Davis.
I guess I just needed to see proof of concept that he still existed.
You read the white paper, but now you needed to see it in action.
Well, I've been reading the white paper for a long time, but it's like people hear about the Lightning Network and they're like, yeah, but really, like people need to see that you can buy Starbucks with Bitcoin to accept that it's a thing.
T. Higgins is a layer 2 solution.
I knew we'd get some NFT talk in here without Kitchen on the show.
Yeah.
Mooncat. He says he's introducing Mooncats at whatever meeting he's at.
Where is Kitchen? We need to address that.
It's some work meeting, but I don't actually know where.
No, he's out at like Home Depot buying a mini fridge for the office.
Was he really going to a party in New York City that
I think
Dan
so.
Bach referenced? Okay. Man.
Yeah. The 40/40 club or whatever.
I didn't know if that was a bit or if he was actually going to that Jay-Z's club.
Oh, that's where they had. I knew why that sounded familiar. DraftKings had a final there like years ago.
Oh, I think I remember that one. Did they shoot a big video there or something from that final?
I think they did. I had a newborn at the time.
Okay.
Had to bring him along. He did not like Jay-Z's club. He did not sign off on Jay-Z's club.
When have you not had a newborn, Tuttle, I think is the question.
Well, we were actually just making this joke with my wife at Thanksgiving. It's been the first time. I was trying to get her wasted. I was like, this is the first time in a long time you haven't been pregnant.
Did she pull a Tuttle and say, I won't get wasted, but I'll get high?
She did not. Sammy Reid's natural state. No, she did not. She drank a little bit, but not too crazy, I guess.
Tuttle, are you done? Or have you gotten snipped? The people need to know.
I have not taken surgery yet or had surgery yet.
Brave man.
We'll see.
He's still one new mattress away from another little Tuttle coming out.
All right, enough about Tuttle's sex life. Let's move on. Well, I'm going to leave Pete. I'm going to leave this into your hands. I'm going to give you the first pick. You seem pretty strong about the Burrow double stacks. I'm interested.
What's our free roll, bud?
I'm so off my game. Normally when Kitchen is hosting, it's so easy to get distracted that I've already pulled up the free roll on DraftKings, but you guys have me just engaged in super vibrant conversation. And by the way, guys, if you like the show today,
leave a comment
and just, we're always trying to see how we're performing relative to past shows. So if you think this one happens to stack up favorably to kind of the usual Swolecast, feel free to kind of let us know in the comments. It's good for us, wouldn't you guys say, to kind of be able to gauge that?
Yeah, and make sure to tag all of us on Twitter. Make sure that you include Soccer Dave. So at Soccer Dave, at Sammy Reid, FI always gets me. At Peter Overzet, at Mr. Tuttle 05. Just make sure to let us know that you're, if you're enjoying the show, what's so good about the show, like how Dan's doing as a host, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I will say we do have the 10K MVP challenge presented by Visa. I know at this point in the year, bankrolls are getting drained. This is a great free roll. 16,000.
It's nice to see Visa giving back to the NFT community that they're a part of.
Yeah, I mean, enter this competition if you want cash back, guys. That's kind of what I would say.
Why was that so funny?
I just wasn't. I'll pick Jamar Chase.
Hey, before we're done talking about Visa, I just realized we gave Visa more airtime to our actual sponsor, BetMGM. So I'm gonna throw the BetMGM plug in here too. If you're a bettor, if you have a betting account, if you're in a state that's legal to bet, unlike myself, head on over to BetMGM and go ahead and use. I have no idea what the promo code is, as I do not have it up. Does anybody have the promo code up?
Yeah, let me pull up the email for you here.
Absolutely not.
GRINDERSBET.
There you go. And how much do you have to put in play?
Okay. Use the bonus code GRINDERSBET and bet $10 to get $200 instantly on BetMGM.
And Bach is going to cancel us.
Man, look at this forecast. Working as a team without Soccer Dave, right?
Exactly. Fostering a positive work environment, lifting each other up.
That's right.
There we go. And let's make that lineup for DraftKings now.
Yeah, I picked Jamar Chase.
I picked Jamar Chase. Classic cash game GPP pick here.
All right, Davis.
I will take Justin Herbert on the other side of that game.
All right, Sammy.
Davis was too scared to stack him with Keenan and ruin his personal brand.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it. I swore if Davis was mentally strong, he was just going to jam in David Montgomery. I'm going to go. I'm not associating with this little stack that you guys are doing.
Don't say Deontay Johnson.
No. This is a cash game lineup. So we are going with George Kittle with Deebo Samuel out. I think people are going to really be focusing on Ayuk. Maybe even Juwan Jennings or Sherfield. The box score bros are going to love Eli Mitchell. But I think this is a game that Kittle eats. Dwayne McFarland tweeted this earlier today. George Kittle has a 25% target rate versus zone, whereas Brandon Ayuk's has only been 14%.
No, that's too far for this show. You took it too far.
Just saying. I didn't do the research myself. I just stole it from somebody else on Twitter. But George Kittle gonna eat nom.
It sucks that I can't set up the mini correlation with Adrian Peterson. I did look
for
it.
No.
Oh man.
All right, Tuttle.
All right. We are going to go with Big Mike Williams.
There we go.
The stack.
Oh, a man that actually enjoys scoring touchdowns. I like this.
Yeah. All right. You know what?
You can't jump Pete though. It's Pete's turn.
Okay. Pete, save me space.
Wow. You want
You
space?
You know who I want to pick.
You want to pick JT?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna put in let's put in James Conner. If we're not playing Sammy's favorite stack of the week, we got to get those points somehow.
That's right.
All right. Like James Conner, I am going to be selecting Seattle's fourth wide receiver, DK Metcalf, as our mini correlation with George Kittle. And yes, I watched the game. I get it. I know. I can't. I mean, who are we worried about on? There's not even anyone to be worried about. I'm not worried about Jamal Adams. I'm not.
Oh, this is even better. I think
I'm worried about Russell Wilson.
Aren't you guys worried about the foursome narrative? Like, I swear,
yes.
Metcalf's running around the back of the end zone for the tying 2-point conversion, and Wilson's there, and he's like, "Nah, man, that guy wanted to force him." Throws it to Swain, interception, game over. We don't like it.
No, Davis. Here's the thing. I think I haven't looked. I haven't read anything this week. I think DK has the PVT stats.
Oh, that would make sense.
I think he shreds San Francisco.
I can go look that up actually right now and let you know what he does against the 49ers. Yeah, he averages against the 49ers 5 games in his career, 10.5 targets, 6.5 receptions, 80 yards, and 0.8 touchdowns per game against the 49ers for his career. PVT coming through big.
Also, I thought he meant the sexually transmitted disease.
He's also in the AYBM, as long as we're doing acronyms here.
Well, of course he is. You wouldn't be buying high on him right now.
All right, Sammy.
Wait, hold on. Read me the lineup again. I've been. All
right, we got Herbert. We got James Conner. We got Jamar Chase. We got Mike Williams, DK Metcalf, George Kittle.
Dude,
so we got running back, flex, and DST.
This is a grown ass man lineup.
This is one of our better. This is one of our better efforts of all time. Like, this is actually good.
This is where we're happy that the Titans aren't on the slate, so we don't have to ruin it with another grown ass man, AJ Brown, who just gets hurt every single game.
Brutal.
Kitchen would be jamming in Westbrook Akeen right now. 1 trillion.
Thank God. Let's make it easy. We need somebody somewhat cheap. Antonio Gibson.
What's the cheap defense du jour?
Oh, yeah, I think Raiders or Giants look good at 2,800 or 2,700. Probably Giants if we have. So we
got a punt in the flex. We need a cheap wide receiver.
Well, we could also do if we think Boston Scott's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Is that enough? Or no, that's not. No. That takes us over.
If we swap Gibson for Scott, then we have a more reasonable flex.
Yeah, I mean we can do it, I guess.
Oh, I'm not going to take your way.
I didn't mean to steal from you.
I mean, this is the cash game lineup, right? We want to be strong all around. We don't want to.
What's the cheapest defense we can go?
That's the thing. It doesn't matter. You could go
Jets or Washington.
You go Jacksonville. Who cares?
Who's okay? Hold up. I found it. I mean, we're dumb for not knowing that for doing this, but we just play Foster Moreau.
That's what I was looking at.
Oh, yeah. Foster in the flex. This is hot.
And then Colts defense.
This is hot.
Boom.
Easy game.
All right.
So for those of you watching at home and following along, this is what we ended up on. Justin Herbert, James Conner, Antonio Gibson, Jamar Chase, Mike Williams, DK Metcalf, George Kittle, Foster Moreau, and Colts defense. And do you have anything to say to them, Pete?
I would say I'm absolutely begging you in the 10K MVP challenge presented by MGM. Use GrindersBet for $10 off. Don't dupe me, bros.
Don't dupe him.
This lineup is so hot. We got DK and Kittle. We got Foster and Gibson. We have the LA Chargers stack. I mean,
yeah, we got
this lineup will be duped. I guarantee you.
We have some good late swap options there too. I mean, this is just a really sharp GPP team.
That's what Davis likes about it. Yeah,
love to see it. All right.
If you're Davis, not swapping, you're not trying.
Every week, 30 minutes into the game, guys. Who we swapping?
Hey, last week I went out and worked on my lawn. I didn't even sweat it.
All right. Running backs, Davis. You talked a little bit about it before. Let's go over some of them again. injuries to monitor: Detroit, Minnesota, Jamal Williams, Alexander Madison. Who else are we looking at other than some of the cheap guys?
Well, the most shocking thing to me was that I moved Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard out of our projections, and I ran 150 vanilla optimals. Got 0 Jonathan Taylor, who is it's not like I have a low projection on him. I have him for 25. No one is within 5 points of him, and I still got 0 of him because he's so expensive. There's not other than Moreau, who is in 100% of vanilla optimals. There's not a great, there's no like 3,900 Jacoby Myers or whatever. So Fournette is coming off the huge game last week. He is I think a phenomenal play. But I do think that the way people play DFS now, I actually think that the guys who are going to get most overowned relative to their projections are Jamal Williams, Eli Mitchell, Henderson, Gibson, and Boston Scott. I think that those 5K, 6K running backs just jam them, and the Jonathan Taylors and the Fournettes and the Austin Ecklers. I think those guys Jonathan Taylor will not be forgotten about, but I do think that he will come in way lower owned than what you would think just opening up this slate.
Yeah, but I feel like last week we saw a similar dynamic where people used one of the values to get up to McCaffrey, where people don't necessarily feel comfortable jamming 2 of the 5s, but they'll happily, take Boston Scott if it gets them up to Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, but last week the value options were like, Miles Sanders and who was the other loser we played? I don't even remember.
People were playing Ty Johnson and David Johnson.
Like those guys are all losers. There are no loser values this week. It's all guys who are actually good.
Let's be honest. Boston Scott's a loser value.
No. Boston Scott against the Jets, if Sanders and Howard are both out, is not a loser value. That's a real value.
Yeah, you're gonna be so excited when Jalen Hurts just like takes everything in from the 1 yard line.
Now, Kenny Gainwell comes and just has the biggest game of his career.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting that you're talking that Eli Mitchell is probably going to be out owned for his projection. I think, just like looking at Mitchell and the workload he's getting, the guy had a pin in his hand and he still caught 5 passes. Debo's out, not there to vulture his rushing touchdowns. Like I'm pretty big on Mitchell, TBH.
Yeah,
I worry. The narrative heading into this game or last week was, all right, Eli Mitchell's hurt. They don't throw to the running back, and then he did
JWJ season
while injured and just had that massive game that I feel like for most people now there's just no concerns. What possible concerns could I have about Eli Mitchell? And he'll be pretty popular. And that's why I think that Kittle play in our DK lineup is going to be so sharp, because no one wants to play Kittle after what he did to us last week.
That's right.
The nice thing about Eli Mitchell now is that Debo's not scoring those.
Debo's not taking all his touchdowns.
Dude, Debo was a master scavenger. Like, we have not seen a scavenger like this in.
What about, does anyone want to tout Brandon Ayuk as a runner?
Ooh.
Sure. No, they won't do it. They'll do maybe like a jet sweep here and there and end around.
Brandon Ayuk's first NFL touchdown was a rushing touchdown.
Little gadget floor. I like it.
I do love that you made the distinction of Debo as a scavenger instead of a vulture, because to me, vulture implies like a half-yard carry. Debo was housing these from like 35 yards out. He was just eliminating red zone ops for the rest of the players.
There was literally one where he broke off a 50-yarder and he didn't really cut it back inside and went out of bounds at like the 10. And then they gave it to him again on the drive near the end zone just so he could get in. This guy just like owned it. Imagine Eli Mitchell's day if Debo Samuel didn't exist. I'm just saying.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So, are we buying the CPAT usage?
Yes.
Because this happened once,
right?
But this happened once already this year, right? And he was. What week was that?
Patterson is never going to get enough raw volume as a rusher to be like Jonathan Taylor or whatever. What he offers you, and I can hear Nemo Knowling screaming right now. But what CPAT offers is that he is actually efficient. Like he is going to get, he basically only gets high value touches. Cordell Patterson is not taking dive plays on 2nd and 8 on the 40-yard line. He gets the ball in space and he gets the ball as a receiver and he gets the ball near the goal line. Like the Falcons coaching staff can't do shit right, but they know to at least get him and they know to get him the ball where he can do stuff with it.
Does Nemo watch this show?
Absolutely not.
No
Absolutely
way.
not. Nemo is literally just running sims on his proprietary model. And Sunday morning he wakes up and, comes back from church and then he spits it out and uploads a CSV and that's his lineup. Yeah.
He's going to be playing David Montgomery this week. I can feel it.
No, they shit on me for playing David Montgomery with 94% of the running back snaps.
Yeah, that was completely justified, FYI.
So Tuttle, are you just as we're talking through here, no one's that really excited to play James Conner, but he's got the triple dong upside here.
I'm never excited to play Conner, and we have him right now. We have him with the 4th highest running back projection is RG projection.
Yeah, we have him. We have him super high projected. Also our 4th highest projected running back.
Yeah, he would be the guy that it's kind of always been the case. He's the guy that's I would probably exclude from all these guys we've mentioned. We haven't even mentioned Darrell Henderson yet, who's just $200 more than Conner too.
And got 80% of the carries last week. People thought Sony would start to get more work and it's been the opposite.
Are we at all worried about the quad injury or is that just
he literally has been
he's always cute.
He's the Black Knight from Monty Python. It's like the guy's missing an appendage. He gets banged up every game. I think he's left injured 4 times this year.
Should we move on to wide receiver? I do have a hard out at 3:30.
I mean, since you have a hard out, I guess we should.
Hold on, one more tout. Joshua Jacobs.
No.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Davis hit him with one of these.
I kind of have to hear the reasoning behind this one.
He's fine, but he's the 19th best running back play.
I mean, we're not playing him in cash, but in tournaments, you need some touchdowns. And the reality
this is a cash game show, Sammy. We build everyone's optimal cash game shell here. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, well, I've been hand building some lineups. I didn't really run them through the Opto, but I hand built some. And I found out that Washington, not a good defense, but Josh Jacobs has been seeing a lot. They gave him the squeaky wheel last week and gave him a ton of touches and they won the game. So psychologically, the coaching staff is that worked. We want to go back to it. And secondly, they've been using him a lot more in the passing game as well. He's got 36 targets, I think, in 9 games. So Josh Jacobs used to be this 2-down grinder that we never really wanted to play on DK. But I actually think he's getting usage in a spot where nobody's going to play this guy. And I actually think he's got a really good upside here. So that's my Josh Jacobs, everybody. Sorry. Yeah,
that's enough time on Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, okay.
I would just like to say that I'm super, super tilting right now because I'm still doing NBA ownership and all that stuff. And we just had 2 massive NBA injuries announced.
Yeah, Paul George out for rest. You love to see it.
Paul George out, Bam's out with a UCL injury for the next few games. And I was actually on top of shit. I refined and did my in-depth run of ownership before the show so I could work on stuff after.
Well, that was on you. You should just know to not do it until 5 o'clock.
Yep, never be proactive with anything in life because shit happens.
Unless you're doing the only first look show in the entire industry about the forthcoming DFS slate,
right.
In which case we need to be proactive, fellas.
So be proactive with the wide receiver position, Pete.
Yeah, wide receiver. We've mentioned, I think, a few of the best plays so far. I think Ayuk is going to be very popular at this price tag at 5,600. Probably going to end up being mega chalk. I do agree that people are going to be willing to go back to Godwin even after the bad game. He projects well. And then also Cooper Kupp, I think, with the value on the slate, like we said, people be deciding between JT and Kupp. A decent amount of people will fit Kupp in. And then, I don't know, I think it's interesting. Odell looks decent to me.
Absolutely jamming Odell this week.
But my question is, are the box score bros going to chase that, or is he still going to be kind of under the radar?
Because some projection systems will be more conservative on him. I bet our friend, I would bet sight unseen that our friend Michael Leone has Odell Beckham projected for less points than I have him projected for.
What do you have his target share at?
I have Odell's target share at 22%, and I have Van at 19.
What's Kupp at?
42.
46.
30.
Yeah. We have noted Odell Beckham tout, Davis Mattek. I mean,
I just think Odell is way better than Van, and Van gets shot plays, but Odell is much more likely to be targeted closer to the line of scrimmage in a normal game.
Yeah.
Like Van.
Yeah, but
ahead,
what wasn't all of his production last week on a shot play?
Odell, I mean,
Yeah.
He still got 10 targets.
Yeah, 10 targets.
You could also say that was just a function of stat. I just had Justice on the Takecast, and he knows way more about watching football than I do, and he said that that's really all Stafford can do right now. That he's just so banged. It's like very hard for him to just do the normal like progression stuff, and it's which I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but it's also 5,500 Odell playing 98% of the offensive snaps. It's like, I'm probably just going to be playing that guy a lot, especially if he's 8% owned. And it's the Jaguars. We're not worried about the Jaguars defense.
We're not.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote up Beckham on the old expert survey at RG last week because I wanted to be first to the party. And he won't be as low owned as he was last week, but this is still probably about as cheap as we'll see the rest of the season.
I mean, he'll probably about split ownership with Van. I bet Van will be like 8 and Odell will be like 11 or something.
Yeah, I can see this being a Rams just smash game too. If Stafford has anything in him that they just run.
I mean, they gotta be winning these games, and I still think McVay would absolutely love to do the FU and get Stafford MVP votes. I don't think he can win at this point. But McVay loves those narratives. I mean, what they were up, who is it? They were up 35 against, and Stafford threw a touchdown to Cup in the fourth quarter. Was it the Texans game? I don't even remember.
It sounds right. I mean, here's what you do if you're just a supreme alpha and you're playing small field tournament: is you just triple stack. You just play all three of them with Stafford.
Do you think that is the offense? I would say the Chargers Bengals game looks like a better spot to do that in.
No, who do you triple stack in that game?
You use the tight ends.
I mean, what tight end?
Yeah,
Uzoma? Cook or Uzama.
Cook getting 40% of the snaps or whatever.
Thaddeus Moss. My buddies took a screenshot of Rex Ryan's DraftKings lineup that he gave out on ESPN and had old Thaddeus Moss on it.
Is this another week that there's just not a single playable wide receiver under 4K, or have you guys found something
under 4K?
You're not allowed to say Josh Reynolds. That's the other rule.
What does Jennings cost?
Jennings is very cheap.
31.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want Jennings. Why can't we say?
Is it embarrassing if I say I don't even know what Jennings you're talking about?
Juwan, baby.
Oh, Juwan.
Juwan for the 49ers stepping in. I mean, it just seems like such a classic Tuttle spot to play Trent Sherfield in this.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Well, that's the thing, right?
I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to figure the positions out in my head because that's one of the most common things that happen is when we have guys that only play slot or out wide, and then they see one guy go down and just assume that
what about
if
can
get a bunch of snaps. But
what about if Devontae Parker plays? What if he comes off the IR at 3,900 against the Giants?
Can be done.
Yeah, but so I'm still confused why we can't say Josh Reynolds.
No, you can't. I just made it a rule. So
I failed before that touchdown. I failed to realize the Goff to Reynolds connection.
Oh yeah,
could be Quez Watkins.
Yeah. You don't think it's Jalen
Minshew
Reagor
starting?
Yeah,
not Jalen Reagor. I mean, I have not seen is 4.2. Just saying, he's right there.
I have not seen anyone submarine their team as hard as Jalen Reagor submarined his team since the last time Soccer Dave hosted this show.
Good old Jalen Reagor. But we did get the Deshaun Jackson mention at 4,200. And I'm going to take that opportunity to move us over to FanDuel to create a lineup because I have a lineup that I need to create. And I'm going to put this in there. CEO, founder of the company, Cal Spears, who's moving on, is throwing a free roll for Roto-Grinders employees. And I'm going to be putting
Do Pete and I count? Do Pete and I count for this?
I don't think so.
I do. I submit my time card.
I submit my time card too.
We'll have to run it by Cal, but you can't dupe me. So Deshaun Jackson made me think of this free roll because Deshaun Jackson anytime touchdown was on Cal's epic single game parlay hit.
That was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen happen in sports. Like, that was just so incredible.
1K and to do over 200K. He's giving back. Already donated to some shelters in Tennessee, and he's giving back to the RG employees like myself. So I need a lineup that is going to take this down. Looking at the payouts, I can get up to 2K here. So hopefully I'll get a free $2,000 from this lineup.
I have the link to this, so I can enter. I don't know if I should, but I can.
Yeah, Davis actually needs to win this for what David Montgomery did to him last week. So.
Well, if you're in the channel, I would say you're good.
Well, I'll think about it. Ask
Cal if you have any questions. But he says this isn't open only people in this channel. He said it's open to people in this channel. So if you're in the channel and you got the link, it seems like you can play with me.
I got the link.
There you go.
We are cruising.
Don't dupe me though. I'm using the Swolecast lineup, and you can't intentionally tank the Swolecast lineup now.
I won't. No. I'm gonna 1v1 you for rolls, bro.
Let's do it. We all, because we always leave one last spot, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
1v1 for free rolls.
Yeah, 1v1 for free.
Have we seen the payout structure? Just kind of curious what we're working with. Is it pretty flat?
It's nice. It's very flat. 500. 4th through 26 is all worth $500. So people are getting money on this. He's just trying to give out money to someone.
I'm about to rent seek the shit out of this tournament. I'm playing. I'm rolling my cash game lineup in here just trying to get that min cash.
No risk. Okay. Tuttle, why don't you go first since this is your free roll lineup?
Oh man, now I'm nervous.
Producer Steven says he's duping you, bro.
Oh no, Steve Sosa. I thought we were cool, man.
Sosa, that's not cool, bro.
Sosa. So I get to pick out the stack here, is what I get to do.
Technically, you could probably pick the entire lineup.
Yeah, we can't. I think rules of the show, it's sort of like a talking stick. So if you don't pass it, I think you can just take it.
We might chirp your picks, but I think you make all the picks.
Yeah.
No. I'll pick the stack and you guys fill in here. I'm going with the Stafford Beckham stack.
Okay.
My man. Taking this down.
Aren't you worried about Jamal Agnew coming off of the IR, unlearning the wide receiver position, relearning the cornerback position, and shadowing Odell Beckham Jr. in this game? He's not worried.
You had to do that just because you didn't know any Jaguars defensive players, right?
I don't know a single Jaguars defensive.
Dude, Josh Allen, bro.
Josh Allen.
Oh,
yeah. I think for $1 million, I could not have named I was about to name something Henderson, who was a first-round cornerback they drafted and then cut.
Yeah, and then they traded him.
Yeah.
All right, Davis, you're next.
So it feels like on FanDuel, I'm kind of two minds here. They gave Jonathan Taylor the McCaffrey pricing to actually make him very unappealing to most gamers, and so that makes me want to play him. He's also a better fit on FanDuel. So I am going to take Jonathan Taylor because I actually think on FanDuel, you're going to get a good ownership discount on him. I think he'll be like 18% or something.
Do it. Sammy.
Joshua Jacobs.
Oh man,
okay.
I asked you not to tank the lineup.
I will not be playing Joshua Jacobs in my lineup.
Yo, 1v1 me, bro. Let's go. Go.
I might be one. I might have to be 1v1.
Tuttle might also 1v1 you.
Yeah. So that thing I said about playing this lineup, it might not happen.
So who do we have? Stafford, Odell, Jacobs, and who else?
Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor.
All right. Look, if Tuttle stack hits, we're going to need the Jags to do something. I heard FanDuel plays to more of a touchdown heavy format. God forbid I ever tout Visca Chenault. Let's put in Marvin Jones.
Oh,
dude, this lineup just went so.
This is like the exact opposite of our DraftKings lineup. That was like amazing.
I'm telling you, but I don't.
Marvin
mind,
Jones is fine.
Back personally, I don't mind it.
I just want the listeners to know that Antonio Gibson is $800 cheaper than Josh Jacobs, and that is who is in.
Oh, he is 6,200.
Yeah, that's who is in my lineup on.
That's
FanDuel.
what the normies are gonna do, bro. That's what the squares are gonna do.
I just can't get behind Josh Jacobs either.
Jamal Williams is also 6,500.
Dude, you can't play Josh.
Oh my God.
Jamal Williams over Josh Jacobs. You lost your
Easy.
Oh, no. We got to side bet this. You're
Yeah. 25 Jamal Williams FanDuel points over Josh Jacobs.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right. I guess I get to go again. And I haven't looked at FanDuel pricing yet.
Do you need me to points per dollar for you?
No, I got it up, I think. Oh, I'm on the Dallas New Orleans slate. That's why I didn't.
Elijah Moore is going to be your points per dollar guy.
If I want to go Elijah Moore, let me see here.
Well, Van Jefferson is the other one if you want to do the double.
Kind of want to. How cheap's Van? Or can we fit Cup in here or no?
It's
probably
FanDuel.
not with
Of course you
probably
can.
not. Probably
Yeah.
probably not.
Oh, you can. I'm doing it. I think you
It's
can.
FanDuel.
Yeah, you can. I think with Taylor on there. Yeah. If you don't play Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I put Gibson's in on mine, so I got enough chip.
Oh my God, you guys are. This is egregious.
Peter.
All right. So if we do Gibson, and then if we go like a punt D, throw in the Lions for 3,100 or something.
Sure.
Yeah,
That would
or
give
even
us-
yeah, that's fine.
Tight end here. Let's see.
O'Shaughnessy is 4,500, and he's a double bring back.
That's your bring back, right?
We already have Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
So what we actually do is keep Josh Jacobs in, and then to punish all the fish playing Gibson, we put in Logan Thomas.
Ugh.
Boom.
You
see
do
Logan
maybe.
Thomas? He was this close to a touchdown, went down at the 1-inch line. That guy's getting in the box this week.
He is.
Yeah,
Logan Thomas is an undeniably good play this week.
Right.
You could do the double bring back, and then you can put in DK Metcalf in the flex.
No, you can never have more than one Jaguar in your lineup. It's one of
Tuttle's
the
just
rules.
eliminating the number of things he has to get right. He just needs this game to go crazy.
Very
Then he
true.
wins all of
Very
the
true.
Cowbucks.
That's true. You could play Metcalf, or if you're Sammy, you could play Josh Jacobs.
I don't see the issue.
Sammy, give us one more pick here. Wait, so I don't know who. Did you pick O'Shaughnessy?
Yeah, we have like 3 iterations of this lineup going on right now.
It's Stafford, Jonathan Taylor, Gibson, Beckham, Marvin Jones Jr., Cooper Kupp, O'Shaughnessy, Metcalf, Lions defense.
Oh,
Please do not dupe me in the Cal Spears generational kindness free roll.
There might be some changes on my end on that lineup.
Yeah,
I'm not
mine
going to
too.
run it blindly like soccer Dave.
Mine too.
Um,
What are we even missing?
Nothing. So who wants to talk about tight end other than James O'Shaughnessy? Tell us about Logan Thomas, Sammy.
I mean, Logan Thomas just came back and he was really involved in the game plan. They got him red zone looks. I think he got 6 targets. The most important thing was that he looked healthy. I mean, this was a guy that at his price we were playing. What, Davis? Like we played him like 2 or 3 times in cash over the first 3 weeks.
I think we played him last year. I don't remember playing him this year.
I feel like it was early this year. No, it was Seals Jones. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Like regardless.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I will say though, aren't you worried about Las Vegas cover linebacker Corey Littleton, who has a good pass coverage grade this year per ProFootballFocus.com?
Wow, you learned how to use the site?
Yeah. I'm not. Wait, Davis, what's Denzel Perriman's at right now?
Denzel Perryman is not listed on my chart at the moment.
Well, then I'm not really worried. Not really worried.
Who's Denzel Perryman? Denzel Perryman, you made that name up. That is a creative. That is a magic.
No, he's like
player.
top 3 in the NFL in tackles right now, my brother. Jonathan Abram also has been. If you watch the Athletic guys' film reviews, Jonathan Abrams, his play has really improved this season as well.
We should do a game sometime on the show where we go around. We basically name defensive players. Once a player has been named, he can't be named again, and just see how many rounds.
See how many turns. I bet we could go. Now, do retired players count? Like, can you name retired NFL players?
Active.
I bet we could get 20 names in.
I'd want the turn so I could get both Watt brothers.
Okay.
That would be a big hack for me.
I could name like 4 Cowboys and Chiefs defenders. I think I know like their cornerbacks names. Sorensen.
Yeah, mine's pretty rough. I can't think of that many.
Everyone knows
balanced
Sorensen
up.
because he just gives up a bunch of touchdowns. Everyone knows Tyrann Mathieu because he's got the cool nickname. Everyone
he just
knows,
talks shit all the time.
Yeah, he does. He's a elite shit talker. Everyone knows
I think I said this on another show, but I get the Q&A questions that I do in the Fantasy Life app on Sunday, and someone asked me a question, and it was like Fred Warner and someone else, and I thought they were asking me like 2 players that played in the 1960s. Like I thought it was a joke, and I wrote LOL, and the guy goes, "Why are you laughing?" And I was like, "Oh, those are defensive players. I'm sorry, bud. I can't help you out."
Fred Warner is a 49ers linebacker.
Yes, you got it. But doesn't he sound like a 1960s running back?
He sounds like that would have been a wide receiver's name back then.
The tight end. Well, he is a tight end for the 49ers too, right?
That's Charlie Warner.
Warner, and it's spelled differently.
Same last name.
All right, I do have a hard out here in 3 minutes.
All right, so we got. And I mean, who wants to say anything about tight ends? Anybody?
Well, it's just do not play Foster Moreau in tournaments unless you're doing a double tight end lineup, because it is the most obvious leverage shit of all time that he will be over-owned relative to his optimal probability. He probably is not going to be correlating with your lineup. I'm not that jazzed about playing these Washington football team players that Sammy and Pete seem to be jumping out of their boots to play.
Hey, they're in the dome. They're in the dome.
Dome boner, dude.
And we already gave you the direct leverage of unathletic tight end number whatever. O'Shaughnessy is Dan Arnold. Like there's just no difference between the two of them. And yeah,
I do think this week is the perfect storm of mega tight end value a week or 2 weeks after just the elite tight ends just sinking people slate after slate. Like no one's going to want to play Kittle and Mark Andrews and Pitts this week. Nobody. Except me.
Do you guys want the 0.001% GPP bomb tight end?
Yes, it can be my terrible take.
Yeah, he's even the leverage off of O'Shaughnessy.
Leverage off of O'Shaughnessy.
Right. It's double leverage. It's leverage within leverage. If Pat Freiermuth does not go, Zach Gentry.
No,
cut the show. Cut the show.
We've gone too far.
Zach Gentry, huh?
Let's go, baby.
So he's the guy, though, right? So the interesting thing is here, who else do they have?
Oh no,
that would be nobody, sir. Nobody.
No, I'm saying this is going to be the same thing that people do, right? They'll just keep Gentry as a blocker because that's all he does, right?
They have Kevin Rader, and they also have a practice squad guy. They have Jay Sternberger. Sternberger's coming in and running 15 rounds.
He's probably still on the practice squad, but if they bring Sternberger up, then replace Gentry with Sternberger.
Under no circumstances should you play Jay Sternberger in any contest. Maybe he does something in his personal life that he's good at, but don't play him in a fantasy football contest. The guy went to the University of Kansas. He doesn't know how to do shit.
Wasn't he? He was at Kansas?
Kansas Community College, A&M.
Wasn't he like a second or third round pick too?
Wow. Okay.
He got cut. Yeah, he got cut.
No.
Yeah, I remember him at A&M though.
Yeah, but that could have just been because Aaron
Packer.
Rodgers didn't like him.
Yeah.
You don't know. Dropped a pass in practice. Rodgers was like, "You got to get this."
What I do know is that football players who went to the University of Kansas are not guys you want to be playing in fantasy football contests in the NFL.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. We have a hard out here at
hard
2:30.
out.
Yeah, so we got to get going.
You know what? I'll give an extra 2 minutes because Cal is doing that nice free roll for everyone tonight. So I'll work some overtime.
Well, if you want to do overtime, then we'll give everyone one final parting take. You got one first, Pete?
My take is...
Or it could just be a thought. It doesn't have to be fantasy football related, really.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be fantasy football related. That really kind of opens things up.
Maybe NFT related.
Yeah, do you want to talk about Mooncats and their upcoming schedule roadmap announcement?
No, I blasted off on a mint yesterday, and I'm down bad on it. Buy MFers. Google them. I need you to buy my bags.
I liked those. I kind of thought they would do well.
Yeah, do you want one at mint cost?
No.
And by mint cost, I mean my cost basis with gas, not the actual mint cost.
I think I stopped doing those deals for you when I sent the equivalent of like 2,500 American dollars for Tokyo 10s that immediately went to absolute dust. Like total dust.
As the miner was confirming that block, it just went to zero. I thought I was doing a nice thing for a friend.
Sammy?
I'd like to pump my bags a little bit. I have some Man's Coin and some Man's Coin lit that I acquired, Pete, like 3-4 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. After the initial white paper.
Yeah. Freshly minted. I mean, these things, I know there's all these new NFT projects that have been happening and people have kind of been jumping onto the fresh new thing, but I'm telling you, Man's Coin and Man's Coin lit, when it forked into lit, I mean, these projects, they've got a lot coming. You can DM Pete for more details.
I heard there's a book coming out about the block size war that led to the forking of the Man's Coin. Looking forward to reading that.
Me too. Stack your Rams and look forward to that Josh Jacobs tweet touchdown when it happens.
It is unbelievable that we got through 62 minutes of this show and Deontay Johnson was mentioned one time. The guy has like a 33% target share since Smith-Schuster got injured.
Yeah. It just goes without saying. You don't need to talk about him. It's just like Cooper Kupp.
Does it bum you out? Does it bum you out that Deontay Johnson is just AFC North Keenan Allen? Like, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel bad because he's really. Why are you trying to hurt me, bro?
Well, now that I can't do the drops thing anymore, I had to come up with another way to disparage your favorite player.
If he was on the Rams, he would be Cooper Kupp. I mean, that's if he didn't have a skeleton. Yeah, if he didn't have like
Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is very underrated. He is a giant man, and he's fast, and he's an amazing route runner. It's
very handsome as well. Underrated handsome on the kid.
I don't think that's true about Cooper Kupp. He looks like the average dude you'd see walking around any college campus in the Pacific Northwest.
No, that's not true. We're gonna have to talk about this a little more offline.
I think Odell is the most handsome Rams wide receiver, and I don't think that's
all right. I do have a heart out.
Yeah, I was waiting to chime in and say, man, I'm happy that we added an extra 2 minutes.
My take is that amongst all of this running back value, please do not forget that in Alexander Madison's 2 starts this year, he went 26 carries, 112 yards, 8 targets, 59 yards, and in his game against Detroit, 25 carries, 7 targets. Yes, I know Spark superstar Kene Nwangu is going to be active here and going to play more than Abdullah did in those games, but Madison with no Dalvin Cook is a better play in fantasy sports than Dalvin Cook with Madison active. He's gonna crush.
This is ludicrous that you even like spent your last take to tout Alexander Madison.
He's gonna be like 9% owned.
Yeah, his price tag is gonna make it so he's not that owned.
He's 7,900. People will play Eckler.
Yeah, he's expensive on FanDuel too. But anyways, moving on to close. Just want to thank everybody for watching, and remember, leave us some comments. If they're disparaging Soccer Dave, they're even better. If they're congratulating us, saying how good of a job we did, that works as well. Smash that like button, and that is going to do it for this edition of the Swolecast.